Well, the first thing is they don't know it. Now, maybe they really do know it, but they don't have the ability to put the meaning out where people understand it. And if people don't understand what the hell you're talking about, who gives a shit what the hell you're talking about? And that's why, like scientists, I mean, they come up here with all these real cool formulas and names and all kinds of stuff, and you don't know what the hell they're talking about. Does that make them an authority? No. That's why a lot of people view scientists as idiots. And because, like I say, they're unable to express what it is that they see. They've studied this, they've got it all found out, and now they're incapable of putting it in words that we understand what the hell they're talking about. And especially, now I want to stay with the scientists here for a little bit. Now, see, it used to be I respected the scientists because I thought they worked on everything on facts. I mean, they had this stuff figured out. I mean, my attention span isn't near long enough to be a scientist. I mean, they get in, they study it, they figure it all out. They know all this stuff. So when they say something, they know what they're talking about. That's what I used to think. I used to think they had some kind of authority. But now I'm saying this wrong, I know, because they're not really educated idiots. What it is, they're corrupt, misled scientists. And the way this stuff comes is they will study something and they will give you their I forgot what you call it, but their solutions or whatever, what they got out of it. And when you get this, you'll think, oh, well, a scientist figured this out, so that means this must be right. And it used to be like that. Nowadays, who's paying for the study? Who's paying for the scientist's work to work on this project? And nowadays, they've sold their soul, and they will lean their findings in favor of who's paying for it. Why would they do that? Well, because if they don't, the next project that they work on, who's going to pay for the next project? If everybody that pays you to look at something, and you look at it and it turns out to be a bad thing, and then this other company, they're looking for a scientist, and they're going to look at this scientist's record, and they're going to find out everything this scientist comes out, it's not good for whoever's paying for this thing. So why would I want to, pay that much money and have him cut me down like that? And then you look at this other scientist and you say, well, he's working on like a 90% kind of thing. 90% of the time, whoever's paying for it, it kind of seems to go that way. That's what's happened to the scientific world, and that's why you can't even trust them anymore. So in other words, they're not really an idiot. It's just the corruption. That's a whole nother video, whole nother topic. But I say you need to be aware of the idiots. And like I say, on YouTube, I've found a lot of idiots. And it's funny. I love, like I say, you need to read the comments. I love the comments. And I don't care if you disagree with me or not. I'm just telling you my experience on this stuff. And so I think it's kind of neat. Now, it's funny because we got to the point that there's just plain idiots. And that's another thing. An idiot doesn't think. The idiot, his thinking process goes as far as I already know the answer. And that's as far as their thinking process goes. And if you don't know, if you're not saying what I know to be fact, then what you're saying is wrong. That's a sign of an idiot. They're incapable of thinking. And it's funny because even in their fields, people don't understand the fields change. You just think about it. Everything that you learned as a kid, how much of it is still accurate as you get older? and wiser. You know, some of it we were taught wrong, either on purpose or at that time that's what they believed and stuff like that. So if your thinking is still on what you were taught at that time, then you'd be an idiot. So that's why some of these people will go to college and they'll learn that, or they get their extra, every year you have to do more classes and stuff like that, you know, and they really think that they know something. They don't realize who's putting on these classes. Who are these people that are giving them this stuff that they're supposed to be knowing? In other words, they're getting false information, and they don't have enough sense to realize that. And so that puts them into an idiot kind of class. I know you can tell a lot. You talk to people that have retired in a lot of the government agencies, and you talk to them, and if you can get them to talk to you serious, they will explain to you how it's been going more to a political. You're taught more political things than you are scientific things, and you are expected to do all this stuff. A good example on that would be like lumber. You know, instead of we had a chance in the United States to do lumbering in a manner where they could replant and lumber and replant lumber, and it would be a continuous resource. You know, in the days when they could go in and pick out trees and pull them out, lumbering wasn't no problem. It was when they start going in like a weed whacker and take out sections and sections. But even at that, some of that, I'm not a professional in this kind of stuff, but I would say some of it could be done. You'd have to study it all out and figure it all out and how to do it. And that's why when we have a fire now, there's so much under the trees that have fallen down. There's so much under, I don't know what they call it, but anyway, when that starts burning, you get a really hot fire. And but like I say, I'm not real knowledgeable in that stuff. I've heard retired or people that have been in the lumbering business for a long time. They know how this stuff is done, and you know, the education part. They don't get the education part to the government. It's the education that they have to come up with on their own, and so it's not added education other than that one person has learned and learned and learned, and but it's not something, like I say, that can be taught. It's just plain flat stuff they have to learn, and so there's idiots come in all manners, and that's why it's important. First, you surround yourself. You surround yourself properly. In the way of friends, you look at your friends, you surround yourself with the right friends. In your work, when you find yourself working with a bunch of idiots, oh man. But like I say, people want money so bad, they will continue working with the idiots. I mean, when your life is structured around money, you need it. So you're going to, and the price to pay is working around these idiots, enforcing laws, enforcing regulations that you know, not really a big thing, but you do this and for the money. And I'm talking about you doing it. Now you got to remember, when you are approached by these people, remember, they're doing it for the money. They're not doing it because it's the right thing to do. A good example of a lot of these greenies, you start asking them stuff, you'll see that there's a lot they don't know. It was weird, I saw a thing on, they're talking about the water. You know, I'm not a big guy on wasting water. But I liked the way the guy was approached it, talked about it, and the number one use of water is agriculture, and they use a ton of water feeding livestock and you know, gardens and stuff like that. I mean, not gardens like we do gardens. I mean, big crops. And so, what do they want us to do? Turn off the water when you're brushing your teeth. Um, use less water. You know, shower with less water. You know, they put the faucets now, use a little bit of water in them, stuff like that. And like I say, that doesn't make hardly any difference at all. See, that's where the scientists, the idiots done sold us out, and the enforcers of all this stuff. See, so that's what I'm saying. The authority has turned into idiots. The education has turned into idiots. I mean, we are surrounded by idiots. We have to be aware of it. Be aware of it. This Mike, NoStressMike.com.